Hello, I'm Joanne Majors.
And I'm Melinda Hereford, and today we're going to introduce the lifelong connection and the 6 elements that have to do with that.
The cycle of 6.
The cycle of 6.
It's a really exciting concept to introduce, because what you'll notice is, and Melinda can speak to this as well, what you'll notice is almost any of these modules that we do, they're all connected. To me, it's like everything's connected. Almost anything I hear or read or see, I can bring back to dentistry and have a different understanding of it.
And I think you will see the tools that are in our series really are tools that you may be familiar with and you've used, but Joanne actually has a very unique ability to figure out how everything's connected and to take systems that we have used for many years in some cases and revive those, renew those, and how to really make them current today. She has this unique brain, we could say.
Yeah,
it's a unique
good. Yeah,
brain.
Unique brain.
And she has this ability to read an article, read a book, hear a YouTube video, and actually translate that into our business, in the business of dentistry. And it's a beautiful gift. So will you take us through the cycle of 6?
Absolutely. You know, I want to start with talking about the first part of the series, and the most important part we believe in dentistry is, and you'll see when you look at the actual slides and you understand the models, you'll see how the ball rolls downhill. So as downhill, we say it's yes. So it's yes to the appointment.
Yes.
If it's on the phone, it's yes to the scheduling the treatment if it's a large case.
Mm-hmm.
It is yes to whatever the proposition is. So it's not just in the relationships that we have with patients. It's in the relationships we have with each other, like team to team. It's in the relationships you, doctor, as a specialist, have with your referrals, or referrals, how you have with your actual generalist that you
all
work
the
with.
connections.
Yeah,
Actually.
it really makes a difference. So we believe that the biggest leg of this thing is starting with the relationship. And it's the most critical. You know, so many times, especially in dentistry, we get busy, things get, overwhelming, and we don't have time to spend that little bit extra that makes a huge difference if we get the information in the beginning. So we want to start with that relationship and how we build that relationship, where they came from, who they are, and really, really leads us right into the second part of it, which is being curious and aware. If I remain curious, we talk about open arms. If I remain open-armed, curious, and aware to what my patient's saying, to what my referral's saying, to what my team member is saying, I'm listening. I'm building the relationship. What did we talk about? LAD. Listen, ask, discover. These are important in the first 2 keys. The relationship, you remain curious and curiosity and awareness. So you're open-armed. You're listening for what it is. When you listen to what it is and you're curious about it, then what happens is you can discover their values. Whether it's the referral, whether it's your team member, whether it's somebody you interview for a position in your practice, whether it's the patient, you discover what the other person values. Now I'm building this relationship, and now I know what they value. I haven't begun to talk about all the things that could go wrong and why they won't say yes. I haven't talked about money. I haven't talked about, that they don't have time to do it this way. I haven't talked about the medical necessity. I haven't talked about their bones and joints.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take bisphosphonate or not? I haven't talked about any of that.
Go into any of that.
No. Is it important? Absolutely, it's critical.
Critical, we have to do it.
It is critical.
We have to do that, but not first.
That's right, to build a lifelong connection. I'm talking about something that will last. They may move out of your area. Some of us are in areas, we're in a college town, so there's a transient group that's here. We're not talking about something that is, that's a quick fix. I mean, it's really not. So
we're not talking about doing a one visit.
No, we're talking about a lifelong connection. The kind that when someone moves to Colorado and they've been a patient of ours for years, they will call back and say, I just want someone who's like Dr. Majors. I want someone who's going to treat me like that. We have patients who will come in and they'll say, I was so afraid, and I've been to 4 or 5 other dentists, and I was so afraid, and my coworker said, I'm so sorry you have to go to the dentist. And the lady said, literally, Anita said, I told him, it's like going to visit my family. That's what we're talking about.
So these first 3 steps are really about building that relationship and cementing in that lifelong connection.
Right.
And it really tees up the rest of what we have to do.
Absolutely. And what happens is, if we, like I said, if we spend the time doing this early on, it's like the ball's rolling downhill to the yes.
It's
But in
easy.
dentistry, we've been taught so much to get those details and get those, and we can get those, and we will, and we'll work through that. But if you keep your mind on what my intent is, what the valuable final product of this is to build a lifelong connection. Whether they're here or somewhere else, they're going to reach out to you. And then, once you discover what they value, and you don't have to like it, but if you value what they value,
Magic.
it's magical. Then there's an opportunity for you to actually offer hope. We used to call it solutions or treatment plans or whatever. I call it hope. That's when you can offer hope. And our biggest thing, you hear it on the phone, and we'll talk about it in the series, but you hear it on the phone, you hear it in the clinic, you hear it all throughout the office. People saying, let me first say, you called the right place. Let me first say you're in the right place. I want them to know, we've seen Dr. Majors do amazing things like this. I have to offer hope, and we like on the phone especially to offer hope, early on, because it makes a difference. And then once I think you offer hope, there are those things, we call them concerns or issues, because they're just a concern or an issue until you solve them. We call them objections for years.
Objections.
Objections sounds like
Sales.
it's sales, and we're not going together. So when I think about concerns or issues, you and I are going to go together. What's our concern or our issue with doing 10 programs next year versus 3? Well, your concern may be, you're going to spend too much time on the road. You see what I'm saying? It means we're going together, but it's a concern or an
We're
issue. We just have to
partnering.
answer. That's exactly
We're
right.
partnering.
It's a different. They used to call it, what did they call it? Co-discovery.
Mhm.
We heard that. That was a trend.
Years.
We've heard
Mhm.
so much, but what we want to offer the generation that's in our practice now is this concerns and issues, because it's just about answering the concerns and issues. And then once you do that, the objection, the concerns and issues, once you've answered those concerns or issues about the appointment, about saying yes to the treatment, whatever it is, it's real simple in our office. On the phone, it's
Make the
make the appointment.
Make the
And
appointment.
in the treatment room, if it's an initial visit or an initial consult before we do a workup on a large comprehensive case, because as you know, we have comprehensive care coordinator has a huge role in our practice.
Huge.
It's huge. We had to do something to take the heat off my husband, who is really great at doing dentistry, and we are more profitable when he's doing dentistry.
Mhm.
So we had to take the heat off of that role, and how could we do that? And it's this comprehensive care coordinator.
It is.
And to my knowledge, nobody's really doing anything like this in the industry. So that was a big part of it, because that's the person who said they made the appointment, who says when they walk by the room, mix the alginate. For us, mix the alginate means they're moving ahead.
Move
so they're
forward.
moving forward with us on some sort of a comprehensive treatment.
Yes.
And then, of course, scheduling the treatment or the pre-op, and we'll get through those. But if you think about it, it starts with a relationship. The next phase is curiosity or awareness.
Mhm.
Then we can actually discover what they value. When we
Yes.
discover what they value, when I know what you value, I can offer you hope. And then once I offer you hope, you'll have concerns and issues about how we move forward. We
deal with
address
those.
those, and then we say, mix the alginate.